All right, let's run through add page classes. Really pretty straightforward. Basically what we're doing is we're trying to add classes to our body tag, which is way up here in the inspector, so that we can then do stuff on the pages, whether that be styling or custom JavaScript or whatever you want to do. So let's take a peek. This one I just threw in here. It's kind of a silly one because I don't think, well, I shouldn't say silly, but I'm not sure that many people will use this. But what that basically means is cheeseburgers now shows up whether it's a product or, let's go to the blog page just for giggles, and cheeseburgers. So yeah, every page on the site will, I'm going to get rid of that, will show up with that class. So really straightforward. Logged in and logged out are really handy if you want to hide some stuff. You can also hide navigation items from your nav because it'll apply that same class to the nav items. And then post types. These are just default WordPress post types that you might want to add a class to. And then you can give classes to individual pages. So the blog page already has one, and we were just there. Yeah, this is the blog page right there. Boop, right next to our cheeseburgers, which if we refresh this, we should see cheeseburgers go away. There it is. Cheeseburgers went away. And then post. So you can do every single post. You can do individual posts, and then you can do categories. So, for example, on edge case, which I believe, let's go to the blog. No, let's just go to posts and categories. So edge case, there are 18. So if we go view hello world, what are we looking at? These are edge case post, woohoo. Let me, oh, it's not checked. So that's a good, that's a good learning thing. If you can have the class in here, which is handy, so you don't lose them if you don't want them for a certain amount of time. But if I check off edge case posts, now I've got a cute little checkbox, and these are edge case post woohoo shows up. So really pretty straightforward on the categories for post. Under WooCommerce, this will not show up, by the way, if you don't have WooCommerce. But what is it? There's a bunch of people that have WooCommerce, and most of my customizations and plugins are WooCommerce heavy. So anyway, the basic WooCommerce pages, and then individual categories. So it's important to note here that these are applied to the archive page and individual products. So we're just going to close all this stuff for now. And in here, we will go to product categories. So first one will be accessories. Let's go take a peek at that. And let's go look at the beanie with a logo. And accessories, it should just say, I got really creative with these are accessories. There we go. So you'll notice that it's here on the individual. And then if I click on the archive page, it says these are accessories. So you can have a class on both the archive and the individual. We do the same exact thing with tags. So we do have a tag of cows, and if I go to my tags and I look at the product, it's our cool little V-neck t-shirt. You can see we have the class of cows. We also have a bunch of other ones. So heck yeah, this is a class. Let's go find that one. Heck yeah, this is a class. That's a V-neck t-shirt. So it's an individual product. And then what else did we see in there? This is a cool t-shirt. So if we go back and look at, oh, it's right there for t-shirts. Now, something that we add, so that's it on the WooCommerce. But something that you might have just thought of as I was doing this is like, where the heck are all my classes? So under tools, we have this handy little list that will tell you which classes are showing up where, which is pretty handy. The other thing that you might find handy is if I log the classes, or if I enable logging, and then I go over here and I refresh my t-shirt, and then I refresh my page here, you'll notice that it is, I had 3 classes. There you go. So it is gonna log if we go to accessories and hit refresh and we go back to our log. Added 1 class to, and it gives you the path of the category clothing accessories, which is category clothing accessories. So this logging will just keep track of where everything is. So I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to deactivate it, and I'm going to save the tool. All right, cool. Last but not least, you can export and import settings. So if you get this set up like on a dev site or something and you want to just dump it over to live, you can export and import. So that's all there is to it. Hop on our contact form, give us questions, give us a shout out, and we're happy to help out however we can. Thanks a bunch.